It's not over until the fat lady sings. That's a phrase we all know. Is it offensive to obese people, and should it be banned?
It's been reported that Strictly judge Bruno Tonioli used the phrase during filming but asked to reshoot the scene as he didn't think he was allowed anymore to say the word fat.
So he was self-censoring?
On TV, yeah. So they cut it.
Does the fat lady need to stop singing, or should the PC police relax? Joining us now, comedian Judy Love, who says it's absolutely fine to use it, provided the context is right. But alongside her, fitness expert Marvin Ambrosius believes these phrases should be scrapped. A very good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Marvin, you used to be a larger lad, didn't you?
Yes.
You are a fitness instructor now, but how much heavier have you been?
I was around 18.5 stone.
Right.
Now at like 13.5, and weight always fluctuates depending on what type of training you're doing. But being that size and that weight, I was definitely affected by the phrase like fat.
And did you consider yourself fat, and did people say to you you were fat?
Well, funny enough, at the time, you get kind of delusional towards thinking that you're not in a category. Now, I didn't think I was in that category until someone told me, and they said it in a very negative sense. So it was like, you fat. And I was like, wow. And it was just somebody cut me up in the car.
But you then got really fit and lost weight.
Yes, but that wasn't the trigger.
You sure?
No. What the
Wasn't
trigger...
in the back of your head?
No, the trigger was
I
the
was head
mental
straight
health.
to a new gym session when someone goes, you're putting on a bit of timber, son.
But it
Do
was
we all
about...
need a bit of fat shaming, really?
No, definitely not. I think it's all about empowering it in yourself and understanding where you are within your own mind. Because it becomes mental health. It's not really about the aesthetic
It's
anymore.
not about mental health.
Oh,
Come
definitely.
On. It's not. It's about eating too much.
No, it's nothing to do with eating too much, because you can eat too little and you lose a pound.
Look,
That's a fact.
I think, look, you know, at the end of the day, I think we should be conscious about what we're saying to people and when you're addressing someone's physicality. But to then go a step further and say that we should stop certain slogans like, you know, the fat lady sing or fat chance, I think it's taking a step too far. I'm a large woman, as you can see, and obviously I know that...
Well-rounded, I would say.
Well, thank you. Well-rounded, might call it plus size. In Jamaica, we might call it mumpy.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of
I like that.
Mampy, you know,
I wouldn't go as far as saying mampy. You've just gone too far on that one.
Some people actually, some cultures feel happy to know that they've got the word, like my size. So I think that when we're taking it to a situation where we're saying all these things has to be stopped, how far can we go?
I wonder whether there's a difference between Bruno Tonioli just saying it, this competition's not over until the fat lady sings, or if he, or, you know, on another event, perhaps if someone was referring to someone.
Yeah, if you're
it's not over until the fat lady
that's
sings.
when you're taking it to something that's quite derogatory. That's when it's bullying and pointing out. But I think when you're talking about something that is a slogan that's been going around, you know, whether it did happen, it's alleged. He didn't mean it in a way and was pointing out someone specifically. I think that, you know, we are breeding a generation that is going to be so sensitive.
We're just breeding a generation of ridiculous snowflakes.
sensitive.
They can't even hear the phrase when the fat lady sings. There is something wrong with them.
No, but don't you think it's interesting that Bruno stepped in himself to edit? It wasn't that anyone
because he knew what was coming. Bruno knew if he said it, Twitter would blow up with every snowflake in Britain going,
was it more about the council's
fat-shaming pig?
Or was it about him being seen as someone fat-shaming? I do not see that as fat-shaming. I'm a plus-size woman. I don't see that. I don't see, fat chance, Lance chance, whatever it is. There's so many different things going on in the world that when we're taking these small little minute things and making it so big, and at the end of the day, for one person to say, oh, I feel like fat is not a good word, there might be people out there that are very comfortable.
You know what? Yesterday we talked about there were 4 surviving members of the Battle of Britain pilots, right? Of these 3,000 extraordinary people. And one of them died, leaving 3. And the one who died, he was 101. They're all 100, I think. And he'd been 21 when he went up in a plane over the skies of his country fighting the Luftwaffe in the Second World War. And he shot down many, many planes, did an incredible job for his country. And then I hear that we can't use the phrase fat lady sings on Strictly Come Dancing because people are offended. And I'm like, why don't you all shut up? Being offended by such nonsensical stuff. Why is it that Paul Bruno is a great bloke? Why does he have to self-edit a common and garden phrase like that causes no offence to anyone with a brain.
Well, because, once just to cut you on this one, just because when you're a celebrity, not only are you under public scrutiny, everything you say is literally under a microscope.
But what is offensive about
everything, unfortunately,
or the fat lady
unfortunately,
so
as a celebrity, everything's
I sit here for 2.5
Everything
hours.
will be offensive.
I sit here for 2.5 hours in the morning, right?
Yeah.
Live TV, and I say whatever I want to say. I don't give a damn about people being offended.
You are kind of unique.
We know that,
but we need more people like me and less people being ridiculously oversensitive.
If certain words are a trigger for you as an individual, then that's something you need to reflect on. At the end of the day, I know I'm a large-sized woman, and I know that a certain amount of weight can jeopardise my health. So there was a level that I don't want to go past.
Right.
But I personally, when I hear slogans like "until the fat lady stops singing" or whatever it is, I don't feel triggered. I don't feel offended by it. There may be people out there, and if you are offended by certain words, and that's something that
nor do you really.
No.
This is a load of old flannel.
Don't even try.
You're not offended by it.
I don't think we should call people
the one thing I was going to say, with Strictly, now you've got to look at it like this. With that show, the format is live singers. Now, when he said "until the fat lady sings," did anybody see who was singing? I don't know who was singing in the background. It's live singers. What if one of the ladies was overweight?
But who said that she's not comfortable? This is where we're
it's personal.
Who's saying that person is not comfortable?
But not everyone
I know a blogger who is called the Fat Funny. Yeah. She's Fat Funny Lady, and that is her name. And she's into that.
Well, she's owning it.
She's owning it. And we're not saying that being overweight and being obese is healthy. We're just saying that you're taking it to another level where you're using slogans with someone innocently. It's so bad that they
just
say
before you
something
go, you lost 6 stone.
Which is amazing.
That is extraordinary. You claim it wasn't as a result of fat shaming. Piers thinks that fat shaming works. I don't think it does. No. What was it that...
Of course it works.
It would never work because I had to go to a negative place in order to find something to come out. But that negative place, for some people, they don't have the strength to come out.
Yeah, definitely.
And that is not fair.
Listen,
I've spoken to many
every
people,
fat person who ends up losing weight and getting fit does so because they basically feel ashamed.
It's personal. It's a personal choice. It was my choice. It was to do with having children. It was to do with getting older. It was to do with health. But it was also to do with the fact that I felt terrible. I literally didn't want to leave my house.
Because you were fat.
No, but if you could... Imagine if you can buy everything you want clothing-wise. I was going to shops, I couldn't fit into anything.
Because you were fat.
But it wasn't that, though. It wasn't necessarily that the clothes weren't there. It was
the
me.
feeling.
I wasn't me.
Yeah.
And then other people highlight into me.
I prefer you coming on and going, you know what, I was a chunky lad carrying too much timber and I sorted myself out. Look at me now.
No,
that's empowering.
But no one shames him into it.
That is an arrogance.
It's not arrogance, it's entirely factual.
No. I'm trying to empower other people to do exactly what I did.
No, you're not. You're trying to make them all snowflakey.
No.
You're trying to say don't let anyone criticise the way you look.
He's helping
I think it's about making people aware and conscious of what you're saying, but not taking it too far, that we're going to get to a stage where we cannot say anything.
We can't.
We want the younger generation to do everything, but they can't take anything that's coming back.
You say all sorts of things.
I do, because I don't care.
Not everybody has that place, and not everybody can have that.
Yeah, but you know why? Because we're now living in a society where weakness is celebrated, where people can go, I've got all these things wrong with me. Everyone goes, oh, fantastic, you brilliant, this is fantastic. No, it's not.
They're sharing things with others
it's
so
fine,
that people don't
but everyone's sharing
alone.
it. I see these people on Twitter, I'm having a really hard day. Well, get off Twitter then. Don't get on Twitter.
You shouldn't really be airing. You shouldn't air all your crap.
People having a go.
You shouldn't do that.
Ivan, Judy, thank you very much indeed.
On this point, final point.
Yes.
We need to get to a place, I believe, where we start to celebrate mental strength and resilience as much as at the moment we seem to celebrate people who say there's something wrong with them. I just think we should be celebrating positive strength, resilience.
I think we celebrate that as well.
The kind that sent 21-year-old kids up in planes to take on the Nazis.
Way of being approached.
We need to stop worrying about Paul Bruno Tonioli saying phrases like the fat lady sings. It is ridiculous. Get a grip, Britain. Bruno, you should have said it. You should have kept it in.